So, you learned about the parts that go into a custom keyboard and what to start looking, and now that you know about where to start looking for my last video, the hard part is then knowing what to look for and knowing what you want. And so in the upcoming videos, we're going to dive into more details about each piece that goes into a keyboard. Starting from the bottom up, let's talk about cases in this video. Typically, the case of a keyboard is going to be the main feature that draws someone into a specific kit and will probably be what you make your decision based on. There are a couple of aspects that go into custom keyboard cases, and let's start with the easiest to digest one, the aesthetics. This is going to be almost completely subjective and based on what your own tastes and preferences are. Almost all of the time, the aesthetics come down to you asking yourself, do I think this looks pretty fucking dope? And that's basically it. Ignoring the differences that come with different layouts, the differences in case aesthetics can come in the form of them being simple, intricate, elegant, angular, curvy, round, etc. Another aspect of cases to mention is the different materials that can be used. A lot of custom keyboards today are CNC'd out of aluminum, with brass and stainless steel being used in stuff like accents and weights. Some other materials include CNC'd polycarbonate, plastic, and I've even seen a case made out of glass before. Speaking of weights and accents, another feature that you can look out for in custom keyboards is external and internal weights, and any other general accents on the case externally. External weights are mainly for aesthetic purposes, but also add to the weight and premium feel, and also do affect the acoustics of the keyboard. Internal weights are basically the same as external weights, minus the fact that they're not for aesthetic purposes, serving to add more weight and also having more of an impact on the sound than external weights. It's hard to convey until you pick one up yourself, but holding a big heavy chunk of metal that just makes you feel like you own a premium product. The other aspect of a custom keyboard case to keep in mind is what kind of layout you were looking for. There are many different layouts to choose from, and just to list off some quickly, there's full size, 96%, also known as 1800, TKL or 10 keyless, 75%, 65%, 60%, and even 40%. And quick note, I can't lie to you guys, the 40% people kind of scare me. It's like a cult, and I really don't know what's up with those guys. Just a quick note about layouts, because I know a lot of people get the wrong idea about losing keys early on. With these smaller keyboards, you aren't losing the functionality. The ability to press F5 on a 65% is still there, but it is just hidden within function layers by holding down Fn plus 5 on the keyboard. While with smaller keyboards, you aren't technically losing functionality, people definitely still have their own preferences on what keys they use on a daily basis. Some people use a numpad every day, but personally I've never used a numpad except for flying a plane in GTA 5 when my controller died. If you're someone that uses the function row on a daily basis, I recommend not going below a 75% size. One more thing to note is that when you buy a custom keyboard kit, you're more than likely going to be drawn into the kit itself because of the case, and so understanding what goes into a case and understanding what your likes and preferences are in a case will help you make a decision on what keyboard kit to buy. Obviously, the other parts of a keyboard go into your decision for what keyboard kit to buy, but the most prominent deciding factor is going to be the case, how it looks, and what layout it is. So I hope that this was a helpful video in better understanding the case of a custom keyboard, knowing what to look out for, and perhaps even with learning where your preferences lie in aesthetics and layout.